Neurametrix is a digital biomarker platform for measuring cognitive and motor performance as a vital sign for neurodegeneration and mental health. We do this through natural typing on a keyboard. On our call and joining us today is Jan Samzelius, co-founder, CEO, and CTO with over 30+ years in management, quantitative methods, and inventor of typing cadence. I am a healthcare technology strategist with 20+ years experience in health tech startups, life sciences, and digital health. Our team has one of the best data security developers in the world, and our advisors include the mentor of the 2012 Nobel Prize winner, as well as neurologists and mental health care experts. Everyone knows someone who has dementia in addition to mental health challenges. There is a need for a more objective measurement in neurology and psychology, as well as the ability to provide an earlier diagnosis for conditions like mild cognitive impairment, and also the ability to monitor dementia patients remotely. The statistics to the right tell the story. More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. 1 in 3 seniors dies of Alzheimer's or a related dementia. Alzheimer's kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. The lifetime risk for Alzheimer's at the age of 45 is 1 in 5 women and 1 in 10 men. We know that consistency of typing is a reliable measure of cognitive and motor performance. The solution involves continuous measurement without the need for special equipment, as it can be installed on a person's own device, such as a PC, Mac, or smartphone. The installation process is quick and easy and runs in the background without burdening the patient. It collects a large amount of data, often 10,000 keystrokes daily, and is independent of language or alphabet. The results are accessible via our dashboards, and the solution is very user-friendly. Over 1 billion data points have been collected so far. Our platform, as mentioned earlier, consists of software downloaded onto one's own device. Shown here on a PC, this dashboard is highlighting on your left a healthy patient versus on your right a Parkinson's patient. You can see the dynamic nature of the plotting on the right in regards to the Parkinson's patient. This is showing increased inconsistency of typing on your right. This is our mobile smartphone application where the individual downloads a virtual keyboard to their phone, which mirrors exactly the current smartphone screens for both the iPhone and the Android. The impact of Neurametrix solution is multifaceted and highlights these different areas of impact. Number 1 is earlier disease detection. Number 2 is the ability to remotely monitor patients. Number 3 is the very objective measurement versus the subjective gold standard measurements today. Clinical trials and research show the impact of interventions as well as therapeutics. For example, in a Parkinson's patient, we have the ability to measure on-off periods and also to see if the therapeutic or drug is working. Real-time feedback as well and interventions. So physicians can provide timely interventions, they can adjust treatment plans, and also change medications as needed. We have the ability to reach underserved and disparate patient populations. And once again in this field, there is a need for innovation because of the progressive nature of dementia and other neurodegenerative diseases. Highlighted here is the scalability and technical aspects of the solution, emphasizing our ability to handle data processing, ensure security and privacy, and comply with regulatory standards. Finally, these are some of the key partnerships today, which include pharma and biotech companies, digital ecosystems, academic research institutions, and CROs. We thank you for your time today and look forward to answering any of your questions.
Okay. Round of applause there. Okay, questions from the judges for our final presenter. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you. So the question is that, you mentioned about cognitive, then you also mentioned about motor. So when you look at, this kind of differences against the healthy, controls, essentially, can you differentiate really, the kind of causes of having these kind of patterns, whether they are due to cognitive signals or whether they're due to sort of just interacting with device and motor related, and how would the type of devices, the sizes of the screen, and also whether patients take medications to control their symptoms or just early signal of naive patients, all these potential confounders, how would you address some of those aspects? Thank you.
Thank you. Now double here. I'll continue anyway. So there are lots, as you mentioned, lots and lots of different kinds of confounders, and there are a lot of steps in cognition and in motor. And so we have started to do some research on sort these things apart, but honestly, we're not quite there yet. And now what runs counter to those problems is the fact that the statistical quality of the tool is so high. And our tool can detect changes in consistency of typing to the tune of 1/100th of a second. But in terms of the other confounders, we'll get there in the next years.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Do we have a follow-up question from the judges?
Hi, I'm assuming that this is running in the background of devices and it's on all the time, so it's capturing every iteration. In terms of the progression of diseases, is this a tool that needs to have a normal baseline? So do you need to actually have the intervention or the detection early in the progression of the disease? So that's the first aspect of this. And the other is, is the algorithm that you're developing actually sensitive enough to detect differences between muscle degeneration and different types of neurodegeneration that affects muscle output? So for example, MS and Parkinson's. Can you distinguish between specific indications?
So let me take the second one first of those. So one of the things that we thought very early in this process was that we should be able to develop fingerprints for different kinds of diseases and even different versions of diseases. And we started to really work on this a couple of years ago. And so by now we have a very powerful fingerprint for Parkinson's and a relatively good one for Huntington's and for depression. And so that will and with more of those that will really help the ratio improve the diagnosis, and in both of those areas, your question there. Hello?
Yeah, I think we were just losing some connection there, Jan. Are you finished answering the question?
Yeah, I was hoping if she could restate what the first question was.
Sure thing, Jan. Glennis, please.
When does the detection need to happen in the disease progression? Is this something
Oh,
that...
yeah, right. So basically, for most of what we do, we have certainly data on a lot of people that can be viewed as basically healthy, so controls. And so the first sort of line of attack is to compare with those. And then
John, you're breaking up via Zoom.
that the tool is so it's so sensitive that many of these changes the tool can see, but the doctor cannot, and existing tools cannot.